The recent Call of Duty Black Ops Collection leak could change everything we know about Call of Duty 2024. But the real question is this leak real or is it fake? Let's talk about it.
I'm gonna go with the veteran from the US, Merc.
All right, welcome, Merc.
By popular demand, we're back on Black Ops 3. This time we are playing on PlayStation. Turns out I never actually deleted the game, so we're going to be playing the PS4 version of Black Ops 3 on the PS5. Probably going to try to do the featured game mode and try to get some extra crypto keys while we talk about the most recent Nintendo Direct leaks. Hopefully we can actually find them. I don't know if we'll be able to find a game. Now, right off the bat, the leak is suggesting that Nintendo Direct is going to take place on April 18th this year. And there are a ton of potentially leaked games on this list, not just Call of Duty, but at the bottom of this list, we do see Call of Duty Black Ops Collection. And right off the bat, I know this sounds like a red flag because why would the newest Call of Duty game be called the Call of Duty Black Ops Collection when so many of the more credible leaks that have come out so far have suggested that it's going to be Black Ops Gulf War, and then in 2025, we're going to have a sequel to Black Ops 2. That's what's been being shared so far, and that's what we know. And this leak does not line up with any of that at all. So what do we believe? What can we make of this? Now, without trying to fully discredit or disprove any of these leaks, this could actually line up with what we've been being told before. There is a good chance that Call of Duty Black Ops Collection could just be a temporary placeholder name for Black Ops Gulf War and the Black Ops 2 sequel that's going to be coming out the following year. Hey, we actually got a match. Let's go. But at the same time, if this Black Ops Collection is something completely different than Black Ops Gulf War or the Black Ops 2 sequel game, then I think it would be more likely that this would be a remaster of Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 and potentially even Black Ops 3. And there is a good reason for speculating that. I just so happen to own the Black Ops Collection right here. Granted, this is a combo pack of Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2, but Activision has already sold this before. The Black Ops Collection is not anything new. Now, I know for a fact, obviously, I have the combo pack right here. They have sold bundles of Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 together. Now, obviously, these games aren't remasters or anything like that, but the point stands. We've already had Black Ops Collections and Modern Warfare Collections. Now, the real question is whether or not this is going to include Black Ops 3 or not, or if it's just going to be the first two. What we also need to keep in mind for this information is that it doesn't really have anything to do with PC or Xbox and PlayStation. This is a Nintendo Direct leak. This could be completely separate from everything else that we're seeing so far. I will admit it's a little bit of a stretch, but it could be possible that they could release Black Ops Gulf War for Xbox, PlayStation, and PC, still do the Black Ops 2 sequel the year after that, and still have this project going on for the Switch. That way everyone is getting something. And while doing all of this, they wouldn't be compromising the quality of any of the games. Woo! Split 5-man. What? Also, whoever's mic that was, that basically gave me a heart attack. Was that like a dog or something? But even though it was quite a while ago, we actually did at one point have Call of Duty games releasing on Nintendo systems. Now, we haven't had any on the Switch, but we did actually used to get Call of Duty games on the Wii, and my god, dude, they were so hilarious to play. The controls were so wonky, the games looked really funny, like they looked weird. I wouldn't say that Call of Duty on Nintendo systems was a very serious experience, but it was still pretty fun. And I really do think that if any of this stuff is true, I don't think it would be hinting at the idea that the main Call of Duty game we'd be getting for the year would be a Black Ops Collection. I do feel strongly that if the Nintendo Switch is ever getting something Call of Duty related, not just this, but any kind of new Call of Duty game, it has to be different or separate from the other experiences. There's just no way. Just think about the kind of ecosystem that Call of Duty has been working on ever since Modern Warfare 2019. They've been promoting crossplay. They've been trying to use the same engine year over year. They're trying to create a certain amount of consistency across the franchise. And we really do have to consider all of the work, all of the effort that's going to have to go into making a Call of Duty game on the Switch, on top of everything else they already have to do. Just think about how often newer Call of Duty games are getting updates, how much storage they take up, how graphically demanding they are. I don't think it would be impossible for a new Call of Duty game to run on the Switch, but it's also not going to be easy at all. And in the past, the versions of Call of Duty that were on the Wii were ported versions of the game, similar to like what we had with Advanced Warfare and Black Ops 3 on the Xbox 360 specifically. And in retrospect, the Xbox 360 versions of Advanced Warfare and Black Ops 3 suffered because of the limitations of the older hardware. Specifically, Black Ops 3 on the Xbox 360 didn't even have the campaign available to play. Also, sick nasty dabs over there, Vince. I saw that. But yeah, I do feel strongly that if they ever decide to release a new Call of Duty game on the Nintendo Switch, that it's probably gonna have to just be in its own bubble. Like, it's gonna have to be its own game. I just don't see how that would work with all the other platforms, with PC, with the Xbox and the PlayStation. There are 3 steaming hot topics that have been at the top of like almost every debate with new Call of Duty games as of recently. There's skill-based matchmaking, there's anti-cheat, and then there's aim assist. And obviously all 3 of those things are gonna have to be And obviously, all three of those things are going to have to be considered when talking about a COD game coming to the Switch. I'm sure you guys are well aware of this if you've been keeping up with Call of Duty as of lately, but there have been so many problems with anti-cheat. There's been so many people blatantly cheating and hacking. It's ridiculous. And if we get a brand new COD game on the Switch, they're going to have to account for that as well. They're going to have to keep people from wanting to cheat on a brand new platform. And by brand new, I don't mean that the Switch itself is brand new, but Call of Duty games on the Switch would be a new uncharted territory, and we have no idea what people might try to get away with. And you guys already know that there's going to be so many people whining about aim assist on the Switch because they're most likely going to have to buff up the aim assist the most on the Switch. Now, I'm not too sure if the devs have explicitly said this, but I would assume that the main reason why controller aim assist has gotten so strong ever since Modern Warfare 2019 is because they had a big push to make Call of Duty crossplay from here on out, and console players would be playing against keyboard and mouse players for the first time at a large scale. And in an effort to try to balance that and have the controller players have a better fighting chance against keyboard and mouse players, they had to increase the aim assist. Now, obviously, they could have taken it into a different direction, and they could have just limited the matchmaking pool so that way console players could just play with console players, which you can do on PlayStation at least. But when it comes to Xbox and PC in its current state, you can't control crossplay. You have to leave it on. Part of this has to do with the PlayStation exclusivity, which is over now, so that could change at some point in the future. But I do believe that ideally they would want everyone to just leave crossplay on to make the matchmaking times faster, to get better skill ratings in those lobbies. That way there's more fair matches. I think that's the overall point of crossplay. And if they limit that, or if they allow people to change too many things, then it can slow down matchmaking times. It can make it harder for skill-based matchmaking to properly work, which I know a lot of people would argue that it doesn't work fully anyway, but that's a whole other can of worms. But the whole point I'm trying to make is that there would most likely be some pretty strong aim assist for Switch players because they have to aim with the Joy-Con. I know you can get other kinds of controllers and stuff, but all I'm saying is that I would not be surprised if the Switch would have the strongest and highest amount of aim assist values for any platform running the newer Call of Duty games. Just don't be surprised if that would be the outcome. And obviously, skill-based matchmaking would factor in as well, and I don't even know how that would work because if you're playing the Switch on the go, you're basically playing a mobile Call of Duty game at that point. And that's exactly why I was suggesting the idea that this Black Ops collection could just be completely separate from Black Ops Gulf War and the Black Ops 2 sequel, and it could just be a Switch exclusive game. It's kind of like how Call of Duty Mobile is designed for mobile devices and iPads and stuff like that, and they can play and matchmake with each other, but if you have the official emulator and you play on PC, the game is only going to matchmake you up against other people who are also playing on PC, or if they're playing keyboard and mouse, because the game can detect what device you're playing on and also what input you're using too. Now, I'm sure there's some people who would be really good at Call of Duty on the Switch, and they would argue that they would be able to keep up with and play against other platforms. And ultimately, if they would allow us to have more control over the crossplay settings, then this wouldn't even be an issue at all. But with the way things currently stand, we don't really have a lot of control over our crossplay settings, at least if you're not on PlayStation. But there is a massive catch to all of this. Why would they release a Black Ops collection like Black Ops 1, 2, and possibly even 3 remastered just for the Nintendo Switch? Why would they do that in the first place? Because the more you think about it, it doesn't really make any sense. Why would you remaster these games for the platform that's going to have the hardest time running that and actually making it look like a remaster? And look, if it's not a remaster of the old Black Ops games, and if it's not Black Ops Gulf War or the Black Ops 2 sequel, what could it even possibly be? Dude, there's no way in hell they would have somehow been able to put together a brand new Black Ops game, potentially even exclusive to the Switch, in this short amount of time. When it comes to the last two most recent COD games, Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3, they couldn't even make that a 2-year life cycle. They had to sell them as separate games. So I don't see any kind of potential for them doing a Black Ops collection where we actually get a 2-year life cycle, or possibly even 3-year life cycle for new or even remastered Black Ops games. It just doesn't seem likely at all. Another thing that's pretty strange about this leak is the suggested release date for the Black Ops collection. They're saying that it would be what? September 26th, 2024? Have we ever gotten a brand new Call of Duty game in September? I don't even know if we have. Traditionally, the release schedule for new Call of Duty games is usually October and November. With a release date like this, it again just suggests the idea that this would be a separate project and a separate game from the typical yearly releases of Call of Duty. But after discussing all these topics and really trying to think it over, I just don't see it being a realistic possibility. And if I were you guys, I don't know if I would believe a lot of these leaks that are coming out, unless it's coming from a more verified leaker or like a trusted source, like someone who has provided accurate information in the past. But one thing I will say is that I'm going to keep a sharp eye on this leak. If Nintendo Direct really is going to happen on April 18th this year, then I'm definitely going to be watching. I'm going to be looking out for a Black Ops collection. And if they got that shit wrong, I'm going to be very upset. Whoever put this leak out there on the internet and potentially spread misinformation, you're getting slapped with a big old baguette if you got this wrong, dude. Now, overall, when it comes to my thoughts and opinions on these leaks and stuff, I think the idea of a Black Ops collection is a cool idea. At this point, we basically have been getting remasters of Black Ops and Modern Warfare games. It's not like it's that different. difference. Except it is. These newer games just don't hit the same, and they haven't been as good as the originals. But I really feel like that's a separate rant for a different video, you know, which I do kind of have planned to do at some point. It really does feel like they have been going in a completely different direction with Call of Duty as of lately, though. It feels like they don't want to do remasters because they're not seeing as big of an earning potential by just straight up remastering these games. It would have a harder time appealing to new audiences and stuff like that. They would most likely struggle to heavily monetize a remastered game compared to what they're doing now with the soft reboot games. So even though remastering Black Ops 1 or Black Ops 2 or Black Ops 3 sounds great, it just seems extremely unlikely because of greed. Because it just doesn't have as much potential to make them a shit ton of money. And look, I do understand what they're going for from a business perspective, but from the player's perspective, it just doesn't really add up. It doesn't completely make sense from our end. You know what I'm saying? Like, they keep releasing new Modern Warfare games and new Black Ops games, but from our point of view, we don't feel like these newer Call of Duty games are better than what we grew up with. Which is why time and time again, I have been suggesting to go in a different direction. They either need to keep trying to make new experiences and new games like Advanced Warfare, like Black Ops 3 or Infinite Warfare, something that's just new and actually innovative and groundbreaking and different. And if they don't do that, they should just straight up remaster these games and keep them as original as possible, because you're just not going to be able to top those games. They tried to give us glimpses of innovation and glimpses of taking the same types of games, but then trying to put a spin on them and make them better, like perk packages in Modern Warfare 2 or even the aftermarket parts in Modern Warfare 3. But the truth is that is just a tiny little fraction of making the game actually better or new or different. And that is where I think they are really missing the mark. Back in the original Modern Warfare 2 in 2009, having the ability to customize your kill streaks and earn a game-ending nuke at 25 kills with your kill streaks as well was a bold move. And even 9 years ago with Black Ops 3, having the ability to wall run and swim and slide and still have that smooth exosuit movement that was improved upon from Advanced Warfare, that is a bold, innovative move. It was decisions like those that made these older Call of Duty games so much fun and so memorable, and it just feels like we're lacking that because they won't make those big, bold moves anymore. I'm just saying, man, it feels like they're playing it way too safe. I think a prime example is the aftermarket parts. They sound cool in theory, and it's very obvious that they're trying to do something new and innovative and really change up the gameplay, but then in practice, none of this stuff ends up being bold. All of this stuff ends up falling flat because they're too scared to do it. They need to go big or go back to boot camp. And with that being said, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me play some Black Ops 3 while talking about the Black Ops Collection leaks for the Nintendo Switch. If you guys did enjoy this video and you'd like to see the Black Ops games get remastered at some point, make sure to drop a like. I'll see you guys later.
Outcome, Triangle.